And this really is a scathing indictment against the church, isn't it?
Yes, Jeremy, it's scathing about the church here in England and Wales, about the leadership of the church here in England and Wales, but also about the Vatican and the leadership that the Vatican has shown on this issue as well. Let me take you through some of the scale of this report by the Independent Inquiry into Child Sexual Abuse. Between 1970 and 2015, over 3,000 complaints received by the church of child sexual abuse against more than 900 individuals who were connected to the Catholic Church. But crucially, the report says that the scale of this is actually even higher than that, with a lot of incidents going unreported. More than 1,750 victims and complainants. The other crucial point to all of this is that the report says that this is, as it describes, far from a solely historical issue, because they say over 100 allegations of abuse have been reported each year since 2016. And then we come to the criticisms of the leadership of the church, and specific criticism directed at the head of the Catholic Church in England and Wales, Cardinal Vincent Nichols, which the report says did not always exercise the leadership expected of a senior member of the church, at times preferring to protect the reputation of the church in England and Wales and in Rome, and saying that Cardinal Nichols had shown no acknowledgement of any personal responsibility to lead or influence change. So, as I say, damning of the church and its leadership.
It's all very well to make the findings, Olly, but people will want to know what sort of action, if any, is going to be taken now.
Absolutely right, and the report has effectively recommended that Cardinal Nichols should go, and indeed the legal team representing many of the victims who've given evidence to this inquiry on which the report is based say that he should go now. He says that he is deeply sorry, in his words. He also says that he has offered to resign. He says the Vatican has rejected that resignation offer, and therefore he must remain in post, because he says his mandate comes from the Vatican. But a huge amount of anger from some of the victims of abuse that has been outlined in this report, that personal responsibility, although he has offered to resign, is not being taken by Cardinal Nichols. And again, just to give you some further criticism of him from this report, the report says that he did not demonstrate compassion towards victims in the recent cases which we examined. And just to briefly tell you what the report says as well about the Vatican itself, which it says has also failed on this issue over a number of years. It says that the actions taken by the Vatican recently are in direct contrast, the report says, with Pope Francis's public statement on child sexual abuse. The report also criticises the engagement that the Vatican has given to this recent inquiry.
Is it too early to start talking about legal action as a result of this report?
Well, we are obviously waiting to hear more now from the victims and the legal teams of the victims who have been represented. Certainly this report is recommending root and branch reform in the church in the way that it deals with allegations of abuse. You mentioned right at the top those cases that have been found going back a number of years in which priests who had been accused of wrongdoing when it came to child sexual abuse were, instead of being removed from the church, were simply shunted around from parish to parish, with the report effectively accusing the church of trying to sweep the issue under the carpet. There is a sense in which that is happening less in modern times than was the case going back a number of decades. But as I say, the report is also scathing about the number of allegations that the church continues to receive in recent years. As I say, more than 100 cases each year since 2016 being reported. So this is not something that has been dealt with, according to this report, and that is one of the key conclusions from it, that the church must now start to take meaningful action.
Olly Barratt live for us in London.